Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing a book review on the book Confess by Colleen Hoover. I hope this isn't, I feel like it's too high. I feel like I need to lower it a little bit. I hope you guys are there. Hey, welcome back to my channel. I am doing another book review for you, and this time we are doing another Colleen Hoover book. I saw this one at the library. It is called Confess. That's why it has this bright yellow sticker on it, because I actually borrowed it from the public library. I saw it on the shelf and I thought I really liked it. It ends with us, it starts with us. So let's try Confess and see what it is like, and it did not disappoint. I really liked this book a lot. I'm actually having like a book hangover. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's what I'm going to call it. A book hangover where I can't get the characters out of my head. I'm still thinking about them, and I've even started a new book and I'm still thinking about these characters because I liked it so much. So the first thing I'm going to say is I am starting to think that I'm correct, that Colleen Hoover is going to be my favorite author. I have liked her books so far. So far, I have loved the way that she captures your attention. I love that she has kind of like a bunch of hooks that kind of get you into the book, or things that she kind of lightly touches on that you don't really get an answer to, but it leads up to something big later on in the book, and that's something that I really like from her. I will say with the book, it ends with us. I couldn't guess what was going to happen. I was really shocked by some of the events that happened in that book, and so I loved that book for that reason. This book, I could guess. I had an idea of what I thought was going to happen in the books, and it did happen. But it is very hard for books and movies to stump me. I usually guess the ending to every movie. This drives my husband insane, but I do it. And I was able to guess what some of the things that were going to happen, or some of the events were leading up to in this book. But that didn't change the book for me whatsoever, because I truly enjoyed it. I loved the characters of the book, and I loved reading it. I think I read it in a week, I think is what it took me to read this book, but I was also very busy, so I didn't have a lot of reading time to do. I love the cover, by the way. I just think that's so cute. So I'm going to tell you what the book is about. The book follows two main characters, and in Colleen Hoover style, you do get the female's perspective in one chapter and then the male's perspective in the other chapter. Not the same events, but it just kind of, the storyline changes from Auburn to Owen, who is the male lead in this book. So you get to kind of see things from both of their views and how they're feeling about things. And you kind of get, that way you kind of get the history on both of the characters. And I really do like that. I really do like that, because then you kind of get what the other person is thinking as well, and you kind of get their history too. So I do like that about these books. Now, Auburn just moved to Dallas, Texas from Portland, Oregon. You don't get information right away as to why she moved, but you can tell that she's not happy about the move. She's not happy in Dallas, and that is when she stumbles across Owen's art studio. He's an artist. She's walking home. His art studio is located in between where she works. She's a cosmetologist, and then she walks home to her apartment and she passes by this art studio, and his art is paintings that he does based on people's confessions. And so in the book, early on, she is standing outside of his art studio. She's getting ready to apply because she needs some extra money, and she's hesitant about applying, and that is when Owen comes into the book, brings her into the studio, and you can tell that there's like chemistry between them right away, and they have an awesome night. He hires her on the spot to work for him, and that is how they kind of meet. so it's kind of neat to see that. So a lot of his art is based on people's confessions. So a lot of the book almost has like secrets that you're trying to uncover the confessions of. And so that part I really enjoyed about the book too. You will kind of, there'll be events that happen and you're going to be like, what? And you'll just kind of start piecing it all together. I loved it. I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I couldn't wait to read at night so I could know what was going on. I loved the love story between Auburn and Owen. I thought it was a really good book. So I definitely recommend this. It is an adult romance book, and I would probably give this one, I'm actually going to give this one 5 stars because, like I said, I have had like a book hangover. At first, I would have thought I would have given it a 4 out of 5 stars just because I could guess what was going to happen. I could guess the events that were going to be laid out in front of us, but since I have finished the book and I still can't forget about the characters, I feel like it needs to have a 5 out of 5 star rating because I just can't forget about them. I think they're my favorite. And I loved Atlas from It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us, but I think Owen is my favorite Colleen Hoover male lead so far. I loved him in the book. So I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. Now we're going to get a little deeper. I am going to give you guys a spoiler alert right here. So if you do not want spoilers, I suggest you stop the video right now, go read the book, then come back and we will have a conversation about it. So like I said, Auburn moves from Portland, Oregon to Dallas. At first you can't figure it out. The book starts where she actually was 15 years old. She was dating a guy named Adam. He is dying. He had lived originally in Portland with her. His family moved back to Texas to be there. I don't know if they moved back to be with more family. I can't remember their reasoning, but they moved back to Texas. She came with him, but then his mother had a problem with it and didn't want her in Texas anymore, which she was 15. So she gets sent back. There's like they have to say goodbyes. And then it goes into later on in life. I think it's like 6 years later, she comes back. She is, maybe it's not quite, yeah, I think it is 6. Yeah, I think it's like 5 or 6 years later, she comes back to Dallas, Texas. She's moved there and she's still talking with his mother. And so that's kind of one of the events where you're like, why would she move there? Why is she still talking to his mother? Did he not pass away? What's going on? I don't understand. Well, I quickly realized that she probably had gotten pregnant because in the book she talks about how she lost her virginity to Adam, and then why would she still be a part of his family, especially if his family's so awful? So I kind of put it together that she had a kid with him, which she does. His name is AJ, and you kind of get told, you get little hints throughout the book until it leads up to that where she does have a kid. This is where she meets Owen. He has an art studio, but Owen knows her already. And so you get little tidbits of him talking about how he knows her, but you never find out how he knows her until the very end of the book. And I feel like I should keep that spoiler to myself and let you figure it out. But I did like the way they did that. However, he said he was never going to tell her that, and I feel like he should. Just because I feel like honesty is the best policy. So I feel like he should tell her. But he did know her before. Now, Owen's family, his mom and brother died in a car crash. He was driving the car. His dad was in a coma for a while. So he had a very tragic life younger at age 16. I think he was 16 when this happened, when his mom and brother died, and it wasn't his fault, but they were hit by a drunk driver. And then his dad gets addicted to painkillers. This is a big spoiler in the book because Owen gets thrown in jail for possession, and that was one thing I couldn't quite figure out right away, but I did figure it out before the book told me. But it was actually his dad's painkillers, the Oxy, that Owen went to jail for. And so you have that happening, and then you have Auburn not knowing that it was his dad's. He's going to jail. She's trying to get custody of her kid that she had signed custody to Adam's mother Lydia. And Lydia, I feel like I'm just babbling right now. And Lydia won't give her back custody, even though she promised she would later on. And so she has to stop seeing Owen because he has drug charges, and she's trying to get custody of her kid. Well, in comes Adam's older brother, Trey, who is not a very nice guy. He's in love with her. He's kind of blackmailing her or making her believe that she needs him in her life in order to have a relationship with her son. And so she kind of goes into that. He ends up blackmailing her. He's the reason why Owen got his possession charges. Then he sets it up where Owen gets assault charges, and it just ends up being like all of this bad stuff coming. And then at the end of the book, Auburn comes out. She uses her brain. She's smart. She gets it all figured out, gets custody of her son, gets Owen's charges dropped, and they live happily ever after. So that's kind of a big spoiler if you haven't read the book, but I loved it. Snoring in the background, that's my dog. She snores so loud. Okay, anyways, I would recommend this book. It's a 5 out of 5. So far, this is my favorite Colleen Hoover book. I loved It Ends With Us, so that makes this really hard, but I really liked Confess, and I think I liked the shock value of It Ends With Us, but I loved Confess. Now I'm going to be reading 2 more of her books, so I will be doing another book review, and I'm going to kind of bring those books together and make it as one book review for you. So I'm really excited to be doing that, and then I will probably, I don't know if I can switch authors. I'm loving her stuff. Let me know in the comments below if you are a Colleen Hoover fan. I'm so excited for the next 2 books of hers that I'm going to read, and I will be doing a review for you. If you're watching, let me know your favorite Colleen Hoover books in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Again, I give this 5 stars. Go read it. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, click the subscribe button with the little bell so you get notified when I post my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.